First and foremost, I would like to welcome everybody to the 51st Assembly District. It's a district I'm very proud to represent in the State Assembly. This bill package will send a loud message to all Californians that housing help is on its way. I'm proud to introduce the Speaker of the California State Assembly, Tony G. Atkins.
Increasing affordable housing is good for the economy and it's good for the budget. On average, a single homeless Californian incurs almost $2,900 per month in county costs for emergency room visits and inpatient hospital stays, as well as the costs of arrest and incarceration. Roughly 79% of these costs are cut when that person has an affordable home. Increasing affordable housing is good for kids. Numerous studies have shown that children in crowded homes have poorer health, worse scores on math and reading tests, and higher rates of depression and behavioral problems. Increasing affordable housing will help with that problem. Increasing affordable housing is good for jobs. An estimated 29,000 jobs will be created annually for every $500 million spent on affordable housing. Affordable housing makes sense across the board as a way to boost the economy, as a way to shore up our infrastructure, as a source of middle-class jobs, and as a way to help lift Californians out of poverty. The bottom line is every Californian deserves a stable, safe, and decent place to live. That's what affordable housing helps provide, and that's what the bold solutions contained in this legislation will help bring about.
We have the right speaker at the right time for this state. A woman who understands housing, who understands how housing connects with the economy, with social justice, with education, and with opportunities. Here in Los Angeles, we are now the least affordable housing market in the country. Yes, housing costs more in New York or in San Francisco, but given the wages and the housing rent average, here it's the biggest gap in the country, which means, as was mentioned, that 47% of a renter's income on average is spent just on rent, which means you have nothing left to decide whether you buy shoes for your kids to start school, whether you pay off the telephone bill, whether you pay down your debt from your education. Those things that families wrestle with every single day demands leadership, and we now have from the state stepping up with this proposal from Speaker Atkins just that pathway. We will step up, Speaker Atkins, because you have led, putting in our budget very precious discretionary dollars too, to show that local leaders also should equal the state efforts to make sure that we have housing trust funds, that we have credits, and that we have incentives to allow people to build what we need to do to improve the quality of life for folks here.
The Assembly package will address a framework for how California will spend any funds received from the National Housing Trust Fund. That will be AB 90, which I jointly author with Assemblymember Ed Chow of Monterey Park.
The Assembly bill package offers real solutions to addressing the housing challenges that facing California families. I'm so pleased to be a joint author of AB 90 with the Speaker, which directs new federal funding from the National Housing Trust Funds to the Department of Housing and Community Development. And it also creates a roadmap for spending those funds. Funding from trust fund can be used to increase and preserve the supply of rental housing for extremely low and also very low income families, including homeless families, and it will increase home ownership for extremely low and very low income families.
An increase will also allow us to leverage more federal low-income housing tax credits, bringing more California taxpayer dollars back home and increasing economic activity in the process. And I'm really pleased to be working with Assemblymember David Chu of San Francisco on this effort.
Now, when leaders of Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco get together, we often like to talk about the friendly competition between our great cities. But we have come together today in unity because California has 13 out of the 14 least affordable metropolitan housing areas in the country. Make no mistake, we have an affordable housing crisis, not just in the Bay Area, but throughout California. This tax credit will ensure public-private partnerships while funding more affordable housing, more new homes, and tens of thousands of jobs for Californians. We cannot wait. And I look forward to working closely with Speaker Atkins, Treasurer Chung, Mayor Garcetti, my colleagues, and thousands of Californians around the state who are committed to ensuring that we're fighting for affordable housing. Together, we will rebuild the California dream for today's families and tomorrow newcomers as we build the future of our Golden State.
I look forward to pursuing these policy solutions with all of my colleagues. We've made some great strides in California. we passed Proposition 41 that helps veterans and their families. We established funding for affordable housing tied to green development through cap-and-trade auction revenue. We made repairs to the safety net that was tattered by the Great Recession. And in 2014-15 budget, we provided the first new funding for housing in 14 years.